I don't get it personally. I respect it, but I don't get it. And that's just that on them. Hey, what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I post commentary and critique and reaction videos on basically anything on the internet that interests me, ranging from pop culture to internet culture and anything in between. So if any of that interests you, then be sure to go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. Alrighty guys, happy new year. Today we're doing our first unpopular opinions video of the year. If you're new here, I have a series on my channel where I react to your guys' unpopular opinions. It's a lot of fun and we get really juicy. So if you want to be a part of it, basically all you need to do is follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My Instagram is just at the Luke Alexander, and then my Twitter is just Luke the Lunatic, and then just be subscribed and have the bell on for the channel. And then yeah, you can be a part of the next video where I react to your unpopular opinions. Without further ado, let's get into it because I'm about to dive in to your unpopular opinions. Let's get it. Okay, so first up is straight men can be feminine and gay men can be masculine. Also happens with girls. Yes, I definitely agree. I don't think whether or not you're masculine or feminine dictates your sexuality. I think masculinity and femininity is its own separate spectrum that you fall along somewhere, and then your sexuality with heterosexuality and homosexuality at one end and the other end, you fall somewhere along that spectrum too. I feel like they're two things that are not interchangeable. Yes, stereotypically a lot of gay men are feminine and a lot of lesbian women are masculine, but those are just stereotypes, and stereotypes are not always true. So I definitely think that you can be a feminine man who is straight or a masculine man who is gay, and vice versa for women. A lot of movies bring up the issue of mental health actually do more damage than good. It creates a glorified version of a struggle that real people live with every day, and it makes mental illnesses cute and quirky. Yeah, I actually agree with this. I mean, you have shows like 13 Reasons Why or a movie like To the Bone where they're trying to show mental health in a way that like brings light to it and, you know, really like educates people about it, but it ends up just glorifying it. Like, you know, if you were to actually take your own life, you're not going to get to watch your revenge plan come underway. And, you know, choosing Lily Collins, who is such a beautiful actress, and glorifying her to be so skinny and all these different things, is just, it doesn't sit well with me. So I definitely think that a lot of these shows that are supposed to be, you know, representing mental health accidentally end up glorifying it. So I definitely agree with you on that. Next one is just because someone is being polite to someone they don't like doesn't mean they're fake. I definitely agree. I think that just means that you're being polite and civil, and I don't think it means that you're being two-faced. Like if I don't like someone, I'm not going to be rude to them unless they're rude to me back. Even then, I don't think I would. People who constantly insult themselves are annoying. I'm talking about people who go out of their way to talk bad about themselves. Yeah, self-deprecating humor is so old. Can we just like leave that in the last decade, please? No bringing it into 2021. Let's be positive about ourselves, okay? Next one is, if slut shaming is wrong, virgin shaming should also be wrong. I definitely think that we're all different when it comes to our sexuality, and I don't think that we should have a strict timeline or guideline as to when we're supposed to lose our virginity or how many people we're supposed to sleep with. I think it's really stupid having the whole like, oh, like what's your body count thing, or like when did you lose your virginity. I just think like those are the type of things that are personal, and I don't think that it matters that much. Like I think virginity is just such a stupid social construct, and I think it's stupid to expect people to lose it by a certain age. If you want to lose it when you're like 16, you're gonna lose it when you're like 35. It's all different and it's all varied person to person, and I don't think people should be shamed because of it. Next one is, it's okay to think that good sex is one of the pillars of a good relationship. I definitely agree. I mean, I think that, you know, sex is a really important part of a relationship because, you know, it's the physical aspect of a relationship to a certain degree. Well, you know, there's other physical things in there as well, but like that's one of the main physical things, and it's a way of being intimate with someone. And obviously it varies couple to couple how important it is for you, but I do think it's important. That's why I don't really understand people who don't have it before they get married, but that's neither here nor there, and I respect people's choices. But anyway, next one is, it's unfair that people who don't label their sexualities are often defaulted to a heterosexual or straight and aren't considered a part of the LGBTQ plus community. A good example of this is Harry Styles. He's explicitly stated that he doesn't label and expressed his interest in multiple genders with his music, but people always label him as straight. I think this creates gatekeeping atmosphere in the community where people feel forced to pick a label and they won't feel accepted. We should definitely open up the space for people to question their sexuality and not know what their sexuality is, or to have a label that they put on it. And also I feel like we should be more open about like sexual fluidity, like people like Harry Styles who don't put a label on his sexuality but like is open to like dating multiple genders, and even then, yes, that could technically be classified as bisexual or pansexual, but maybe people aren't comfortable putting such a strict label on themselves. So I think that we should be more open to people being more sexually fluid, I guess. This next one is quite long, but I'll basically summarize it. It's basically basically talking about how religious kids deserve to feel more comfortable in their faith, and how there's prejudice against people with religion because it's not really cool nowadays or the norm to be religious in like Gen Z. But I think that if you are religious, I think that is important for people to respect your beliefs, just as it is important for you to respect their beliefs. Obviously, religion is a very finicky thing. It's one of those things where they say don't talk about money, politics, or religion, but we all do anyway because we're nosy. But I think, yeah, if people are religious, I think people should respect that because it's their decision. Next one is POC shows and movies should be able to have problems that don't deal with race and oppression. Like, we want stories that have POC characters that are just about living life. I definitely agree with this. I think that it's important to have like Black or Asian or Hispanic characters who are those different races, but their entire storyline isn't about that. I think it's important to normalize, you know, people of color having multifaceted issues that go beyond just the color of their skin. This next one is quite long as well, but basically the gist of it is that drama channels are helping a lot of problematic influencers stay relevant by giving them unnecessary attention. I feel like I do and don't agree with this. I feel like there are some drama channels that are trying to hold these people accountable for their actions, these influencers, and then there are other drama channels who make 10-minute videos about a bunch of tweets. And I get that it's people's jobs and it's their hustle, but I think that it's just really problematic because it completely like is making these people relevant for stupid things. And I feel like a lot of people, I wish, were more selective about what drama they chose to cover instead of like covering every tiny minute detail. But then at the end of the day, drama channels are kind of like the tabloid of influencers, and that's why I personally consider myself a commentary channel, not a drama channel, because I'm not reporting on every little tweet that an influencer makes. You know, people who do that, that's fine, that's their prerogative, but I just think that it kind of like perpetuates this problematic thing of like keeping influencers relevant for stupid things. Next one is 2020 has taught everyone that we should stop idolizing celebrities and influencers because they're living in an alternative universe. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day when James Charles and his friends were giving each other Christmas presents in that YouTube video. I mean, first of all, they're all together, all 6 of them, which a lot of people are not doing because most people in America are doing the right thing by social distancing, but they think they're above the rules because they're influencers. And then second of all, they're all giving each other these gaudy, ridiculously expensive gifts that is just really tone deaf because majority of people can like barely afford just the basic necessities of life, and it just came across a little bit like showy offy, but you know what, that is what it is. So I think that 2020 has definitely shown us the divide between the celebrity and influencer and regular folk, or just like that 1%. Next one is stop calling people simps when they give someone basic respect. Like, excuse me, but since when was being a decent human being a negative thing? Yeah, calling someone a simp is often used when like a man is respectful to a woman, and I think it's ridiculous because why would we be shaming men for being respectful to women? I'm not saying we should be praising them for doing the bare minimum, but it should be expected that men are respectful towards women, and they shouldn't be shamed for it, because when other men or even women make fun of men for being respectful towards women by calling them a simp, it encourages them to be disrespectful and be F-boys, which I think is like ridiculous. We have enough of those already. This next one is the body positivity movement goes too far. Just because someone has lost weight doesn't mean they're a victim of diet culture. You know, maybe they just wanted to lose weight. It's cringy to see such a deep response to everyone. Yeah, I think there's a difference between trying to be healthy and like giving into diet culture, because I mean, you literally have to be in a caloric deficit in order to lose weight, and some people do need to lose weight in order to be healthy. And I think sometimes the body positivity movement can shame people for trying to lose weight instead of just being comfortable in their own skin. But sometimes your own skin, your own body that you're in is technically unhealthy, and if people want to lose weight in a healthy way, they should not be shamed for that just because they aren't happy in their body currently. I think there's a difference between body positivity and body neutrality, which is something I've been looking into. We're not always going to love our bodies because our bodies are changing and we may not be in the goal that we want to be in yet. So I think promoting body neutrality over body positivity is much more important, because I feel like we shouldn't hate our bodies, but we shouldn't be expected to love and praise our bodies all the time, because sometimes our bodies are not healthy, or sometimes our bodies are not where we want them to be. And that's just my opinion on that. It should be normalized for teenagers not to want to smoke, drink, and experiment and have sex. Some of us have more important things to care about and shouldn't be judged for wanting to be healthy and careful. Some of us want to enjoy the last couple years of our childhood. Yeah, I feel like a lot of media depicts teenagers as like drinking, smoking, having sex, and doing all these things, when there are a lot of teenagers who don't do those things, and I feel like they aren't represented in the media. So I think that definitely in shows, I wish that there were more kids who were not sexually active represented, and those kids who aren't in real life can feel more seen. People commenting on others' relationships, saying things like you could do so much better or they're way out of your league solely based on the person's looks, need to stop. I definitely agree. I think it's so rude to say stuff like that, because people don't date people solely just because of the way that they look. Yes, there is an initial attraction there that draws you in, but there could be a whole series of reasons as to why those people are dating each other. So I don't think it's anyone's place to comment and say things like, oh my god, she's out of your league or he's out of your league. I just think that's rude. I briefly interrupt your viewing pleasure for a few words from today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. With Skillshare, you can explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. And like I said, they have thousands of inspiring classes ranging from lots of different topics like illustration, graphic design, videography, photography, film, editing, and so much more that could possibly interest you guys. Currently, the course that I'm taking is Creativity Unleashed, Discover, Hone, and Share Your Voice Online, taught by Nathaniel Drew, who is a YouTuber that I'm a big fan of. Recently, I learned to write down my limiting thoughts when it comes to my creative process so that I can look at them down on a piece of paper and realize how silly they may be, maybe unrealistic, or maybe that they're not potentially going to happen. And that way I can put my fears on a piece of paper and combat them instead of leaving them in the back of my head to chip away at me. Skillshare is curated for learning, meaning that there are no ads, and they're constantly launching new premium classes so that you can stay focused and follow your creativity wherever it takes you. And it's less than $10 a month for an annual subscription, and the first 1,000 of you that click the link in my description will get a free trial of a premium membership so that you can go and explore your creativity. Thank you so much for Skillshare for sponsoring, and let's get back into the video. Okay, next ones are the ones from Instagram, so be sure to follow me over there at the Luke Alexander. DC is better than Marvel. I said what I said. Personally, I prefer Marvel at this point in time. I just feel like they have more movies out and their movies are more entertaining, but that's just me. I ain't gonna hate on your DC game. Unless there is a serious shift in the US handling the pandemic law, it won't end. Yeah, I definitely agree. All these anti-maskers are just so ridiculous. From the scientific point of view, every girl is deep down bi. I would probably need more scientific evidence for this, but I don't personally agree with this. Like I said before, sexuality is a spectrum with heterosexuality on one end, homosexuality on the other. And some people fall somewhere in the middle of the spectrum and some people fall right at the other end. And if there's people in the middle and there's people at that end, there's definitely going to be people at this end. So I don't think you can say that all girls are bi. I just feel like girls are allowed more experimentation when it comes to their sexuality and are allowed the space to experiment with their sexuality, whereas men aren't. So that's why you'll see a lot more girls kissing girls and stuff like that, because they're allowed the space. But then also it can be fetishized by men, so it's not all good. Next one is Harry Styles is overrated. He's a white man doing the bare minimum. Black artists did it first. Okay, I don't think we always need to compare people to other people, but also I don't think that he's doing the bare minimum. I think he's doing a lot for, like, you know, men being more comfortable with their gender expression, and also he's just a really, really great musical artist, and I don't feel like we need to bring him down. Yes, I'm a Harry stan. I guess I'm a bit biased. People really talk about Ariana's blackfishing. She should definitely be held accountable. I don't know if Ariana still, we would consider her blackfishing. Let's go ahead and look at her Instagram. Yeah, I would say that Ariana Grande was accused of blackfishing because she used to have a deep, heavy tan, like a fake tan, but she doesn't anymore. And she's never really done like box braids or cornrows or any of those things. And she hasn't really, you know, she at one point was accused of having a bit of a black scent. So I could totally see where some people are coming from with the blackfishing, but on the other hand, I personally don't see it, at least anymore. Next one is being selfish isn't a bad thing. No, I think caring for yourself and putting yourself first sometimes is okay. I don't think it's necessarily selfish. Sometimes you have to put yourself first because you can't help people if you're not helping yourself. Beauty standards are racist. They accept black features, but not black people themselves. I mean, that's definitely true. You know, it's really trendy to have a big butt and big lips, whereas like those traits are typically from black people, but then when black people have them traits, it's like, oh, it's like whatever, we're not that interested in you. We just want it on the white people. So I definitely think that beauty trends can be a bit racist. The Dolan twins are overrated. Yeah, they're hot, but their content is lazy. I don't know if I would say that their content is lazy, more so that it's boring. I definitely don't watch them anymore. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the incessant yelling at one another, but I just don't personally find their content entertaining, but that's okay. People go through waves. Before Tana blew up, her old YouTube videos were actually entertaining. I definitely agree, although she did fabricate a lot of the stuff that she spoke about, so that is, you know, problematic in and of itself, but her story times were pretty entertaining. Billy's old music is better than her new music. I personally agree. I think Don't Smile at Me is better as a body of work than When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We All Go? That's just me personally. And I do love some of her newer songs like Everything I Wanted, but then the new song Therefore I Am is just not really it for me. And then My Future was like not that impressive for me. I mean, the little music animation video was really cute. But yeah, I prefer her older music, but I still love the new music. Emma Chamberlain is getting boring. I could see where you're coming from when it comes to that, but personally, I still really enjoy Emma. It's not even that I find her funny, because I don't, but I find her content comforting. It's like when you've been watching someone for such a long time, they feel like a friend. So I don't find her content boring. I find it comforting. Personally, I just really thoroughly enjoy her vlogs. Like if she just kept doing vlogs, I would love it, but it's kind of hard because she keeps her life so private, which I respect. Lana and Taylor are the best lyricists. I definitely agree. I think Lana Del Rey and Taylor Swift are the best lyricists of of our generation. I mean, there's others out there that are amazing too, but you know, they're both amazing, and they work with Jack Antonoff, who is amazing as well. Trisha Paytas is actually very entertaining despite her being hella problematic. Yeah, I can't help but watch her. She's like my guilty pleasure, and I know people may be mad at me for watching her, but I just personally find her so entertaining. I don't watch every single video because I ain't got the time, but I do watch a few. Coffee is disgusting. I bet no one actually likes the taste. Personally, couldn't disagree more. I have to stop myself from drinking more than 3 cups of coffee a day, otherwise I'll be shaking all day long. But I'm obsessed with coffee. It's literally the only reason I get out of bed most days. We need to normalize waiting till marriage and being a virgin. It's okay not to judge others. I don't judge people who wait till marriage. I just personally don't understand it. I mean, I know some people have religious beliefs and all that type of stuff, but I just think like, what happens if you get married to someone and then you have no sexual chemistry? I don't get it personally. I respect it, but I don't get it. And that's just that on them. And if people want to be virgins, that's perfectly fine. The majority of people who get famous on TikTok is because of their appearance. Yeah, definitely. Ugh, TikTok. There are so many people on that godforsaken app that literally just like look at the camera and it's just, and they just like, they don't do anything. They barely even move their face. They're just like, or they'll just be like shirtless, thrusting, and it's like the bare minimum on that app, really. I mean, there's some really talented, funny people, but for the most part, the really famous people are just really, really boring, and they're just famous because they're attractive by like conventional Eurocentric standards. Next ones are from Twitter, so follow me there at Luke the Lunatic. I'm considering getting plastic surgery and don't consider it as bad of a thing. What makes me mad is when people want to force influencers to disclose their surgeries. If they don't want to, they're in their right not to say anything. I personally disagree because I think like if you get lip filler, butt implants, or like fat removal or whatever it is that you're gonna get, and you don't tell your followers that you got it, then they're gonna think that you naturally look like that. Or like, what happens if you're a fitness influencer who got butt implants and then you're promoting some sort of workout routine where you do a bunch of squats, and then your followers are gonna think, oh, I just need to work out like them and then I'm gonna get that butt like that, when really they achieved that through plastic surgery. So I think that's when it becomes problematic. So yeah, I personally do believe that influencers should disclose when they get plastic surgery. They don't have to make a whole video about it, but like if somebody asks them a question about it, just be honest, you know, don't lie about it like how Kylie Jenner did for all those years, saying that it was just a lip liner making her lips go from paper thin to full and flush. I don't know if this is unpopular, but Justin Bieber didn't deserve any of his Grammy nominations. Yeah, Yummy was literally the worst song of 2020, and I stand by that. Zodiac signs are dumb. Personally, I disagree. I find zodiac signs very, very entertaining. I really thoroughly enjoy them. That's that on that. I feel like, I mean, the time of year that you're born surely would have an impact on you. I mean, it's like when you were literally birthed into this earth. So I'd like to think that it has meaning. And besides, I relate to a lot of the stuff when it comes to like my moon, my rising, and my sun signs. And a lot of people around me do as well. So I don't think that it's bullshit. I think it's legit. Money can buy happiness. I think to a certain extent, it definitely can. Because I mean, money can buy me a vacation. Money can buy me a nice house. Money can do all these amazing things for me. And I think money can't buy happiness for those who have everything that they want and have no one to share it with. I think money can buy happiness, but money can't fill a void where you're like lonely. Yeah, that's pretty much that on that. But I definitely think it can make life easier and can make you happier to a certain extent. Saying that any kind of artist is overrated is ignoring the fact that there are so many people with different tastes. If everyone liked the same things, this would be boring as if. And I don't get why you'd get upset if you don't like a popular singer/song. There's plenty to choose from. Yeah, I've never really understood people who say that certain people are overrated because they're obviously popular for a reason. And I think it's just like people just not liking them. Like, I'm not going to say that Justin Bieber's overrated, even though I don't enjoy his music, because I know that he's popular for a reason and there are clearly people out there who enjoy his music. We need to stop expecting every teen show to be the most accurate depiction of teen life, especially when they don't categorize themselves as such. That being said, Euphoria is the most accurate depiction of high school I've ever seen, and this is from a high school senior. Yeah, I definitely think that it's hard for a teen show to completely encapsulate the teen experience because it is such a complicated experience and it differs so much from person to person. But I do think that Euphoria did a pretty good job in doing that. And I really love Euphoria, and I think it was really, really great. And I have a whole video on that if you want to watch that, which I'll link down below if I remember. The whole all men are trash mentality is stupid and harmful to generalize all men under one label. It's literally the same as a male chauvinist saying all women are gold diggers and thoughts. I've seen how popular the opinion on Twitter is, and it's honestly disgusting. Yeah, I've really seen some people, and some people don't mean it as a joke, when they say like all men are trash, they literally mean all men. Like, they've said that. They've said, no, not some, not majority, all. And I personally think that's wrong, because I think 50% of the world are men, and I don't think you can say that all of them are bad. Yes, a lot of men are bad, that is true, but I personally am not a fan of gross generalizations. And the final one is social media has the paradoxical effect of connecting us to a lot of people while simultaneously making us more divided than ever. I definitely agree. I think it's so easy to stay home and like feel like somewhat connected when you're on your phone talking to people on social media, but they're not connected with people in real life. And sometimes, you know, even when you're with people, they'll be on their phones instead of connecting in real life. And I just feel like we connect so much on social media when really we should be connecting more in real life. And yeah, I think that it's weird. Like, social media makes you feel connected, but then also makes you feel more lonely than ever, because you have all these people at your fingertips, but really you're just alone. Okay, well, on that depressing note, I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below any of your unpopular opinions or any of your thoughts on the things that I discussed in today's video. If you've not already, please make sure that you subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. And if you've not already followed me, all my social media is just linked down below if you'd like to go ahead and follow me, as well as the link to my second channel, my merch if you want to buy it, my Cameo if you'd like to book me, and my podcast if you'd like to listen to my episodes that are currently up. And yeah, guys, that's it for me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you in my next one. And as always, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you're in the world. Bye.